Windsor Park. Carl Frampton finally got his homecoming. Tyson Fury was on the undercard, squaring off with Deontay Wilder. We've had Carl Frampton winning the world title at the Titanic Quarter. So many historic nights in this historic city. And we've got another one on Saturday night. The Belfast boy, the hometown hero, Mick Conlan, gets his chance to become the world featherweight champion here in Belfast. We are live on BT Sport and in the UK and Ireland, and live on ESPN Plus in the States. It's a huge, huge show. Look at this table, look at this stacked card that we've got coming up for you. We've got champions, we've got prospects, we've got contenders, we've got future champions. It's all brought to you by Conlan Boxing in association with Top Rank and Queensberry Promotions. And just a reminder before we have a little chat to everyone, the ring walk for the main event, Mick Conlan against Alberto Lopez, will be at 9 o'clock, the earlier time of 9 o'clock, so do make a note. Let's start with Jamie Conlan. Jamie, I mean, this is huge, right? This is what dreams are made of. Mick Conlan, your brother, fighting for the world title here in Belfast.
Yeah, it's fantastic. We're delighted to bring it here to Belfast. Fantastic champion like Alberto Lopez, risking everything and putting his belt on the line here in Belfast is a credit to him. But I truly believe this is a special night, a special moment in Irish boxing history, that Ireland will have its first male amateur world champion becoming its first male professional world champion. So the first guy to ever do it, and I believe Michael is the man to do it. He's had a great career to this point, but it's all boiling down to this moment, and I'm very excited, very, very excited, delighted to kind of have the big stage, that he has this opportunity to put it all on the line, and really, really, the cast behind him, fantastic. I think we have Anthony Catchy first time back in Belfast, and Paddy McCrory and Pierce O'Leary, three of the biggest prospects I think in Irish boxing coming through and in their own right, could headline in this city. So it's going to be an amazing night from start to finish, and a night that the Irish eyes will be smiling.
And in terms of the world title fight itself for Mick, I mean, it's not an easy one. I mean, the bookies cannot split Mick Conlan and Alberto Lopez, despite Mick being at home. It's a difficult fight for Mick.
Very much so. I know we have three competitive shows on the same time at the same night, but this fight, whether you have 6 shows on the same night, this is the best fight that is going to be on Saturday. The most intriguing fight, I think it's the best fight in the division. 2 unpredictable fighters that can adapt and adjust at each time. Both have proven that they can come through adversity and come back from adversity, come back from defeats, and dig themselves back into the position to fight for world titles and be world champions. So I'm like, as my brother and as the promoter, obviously I'm fully behind my brother, but this is, if I was just a normal boxing fan, like I would, this is a wet dream for boxers, boxing fans. This is this kind of fight. You really, it's unpredictable. It's intriguing. It could go various different ways. It's like, it's not to be missed. Definitely, not to be missed.
All right, well, let's bring in Hall of Fame boxing promoter Bob Arum. Look, you know there's a big fight and a big show when Bob Arum comes to town. Bob, we're here in Belfast. I mean, you've been with Mick since the very start of his professional career. This could be a huge, huge night for him.
Yeah, I've been there, as you said, from the start of Mick's professional career, and people asked what attracted you to Mick, and go back. Remember that Olympiad where he got cheated out of a decision win in a first round or second round battle? And he knew exactly who was to blame. Remember, Mick? Yeah. We gave the finger to Putin, right? And we continue to give the finger to Putin. So it's been a great run with Mick. He's a terrific young man, a really good fighter, and he's stepping to the plate, as we say, in the United States, that's a baseball term, against a really tough opponent, a world champion, Lopez, who doesn't hesitate to go into his opponent's hometown and perform spectacularly. So Mick knows it's not going to be an easy fight. It's going to be a very, very tough fight. All the people here in Belfast will have the opportunity to watch, I think, a classic, really competitive championship fight. And who knows, it may end up to be the fight of the year.
Is this the fight, Bob, that, you know, should Mick come through this, is this the fight that propels him to become the face of Irish boxing?
Well, you know, I'm not an Irishman, obviously, so I can't say who becomes the face of Irish boxing. Is Tyson Fury an Irishman?
I'm not sure.
Well,
What do you guys think?
ethnically, maybe. And anyway, it certainly propels Mick Conlan to be one of the faces of boxing, one of the star attractions, and he'll be in demand by fans and arenas all over the world if he's victorious on Saturday night.
Thank you, Bob. Well, as you can see from this this double table, it's a huge show. The first bell was actually at 4 o'clock, so there's so much going on. Let's talk to some of the guys involved on the undercard. I'm going to start with Kieran Malloy. Kieran, welcome. Huge night for Irish boxing. You must be delighted to be a part of this.
Yeah, absolutely. This is my third fight now in Belfast. The atmosphere is always unbelievable. And yeah, can't wait. It's been a quick turnaround. Had my own headline about 5 weeks ago in Galway. So the momentum is there. And yeah, I'm excited for Saturday.
And the opponent that you've got, this Lester Espino fella, I mean, he's a bit of an upsetter. We'll probably get a word from Jamie on this as well. I was looking at his record. He upsets people. He takes unbeaten fighters, you know, records. How do you feel about this one?
Yeah, I feel good. I'm looking forward to it. You know, my last opponent kind of went into a shell, so we were preparing for Espino the whole way up, leading up to that training camp. So I'm well prepared for him. I know he's going to come to fight. I think these guys who come to fight and try and win, you know, they're going to bring the best out of me. So I'm looking forward to the challenge, and I see myself putting on a big performance.
Expecting big things from our man Kieran Malloy here, Jamie?
Yeah, most definitely. When I seen Kieran Malloy as an amateur, I always thought this guy could be a superstar. And being in Galway last month really, really propelled him to the next level. I believe that he really can do things down south in his hometown. And coming up to Belfast, this kind of fight, this kind of occasion, that's exactly what he needs at this stage of his career. And I think it's a step in the right direction and moving very quickly.
Fantastic stuff. Well, Kieran, we wish you all the best on Saturday night.
Thank you.
Let's talk to Kurt Walker, a 2020 Olympian, and really no stranger to being part of a huge show. Kurt was on the undercard of Tyson Fury against Dillian Whyte in front of 94,000 people. Kurt, you're no stranger to the big show, huh?
No, I've been in big shows, and ever since I went pro, Wembley, Catterall, Taylor, first fight, and Belfast. This will be my third time, so yeah, I've been right into it, and I'm enjoying it.
I mean, in terms of Irish featherweights, it feels like, you know, Carl Frampton was the last guy who really stood out over here. Mick Conlan could well be the next guy. Are you the guy after that?
Yeah, well, we'll see after this fight on Saturday, and me and Mick might have to get it on then after.
You're training alongside Mick, of course. You're training with Adam Booth. How's he looking, and how do you fancy the main event going?
Nah, listen, me and Mick are friends, gym mates. He's my manager as well. I've seen him every day in the gym. I've seen the drive he has, and I don't see any other result but Mick winning.
All right, I'm sure you like the sound of that, Jamie. Anything you want to tell us about Kurt?
Second it, I think Kurt is a phenomenal fighter, phenomenal athlete, learning every day. I got over to watch actually some of the sparring, and it's the best I've seen him in sparring. He's improving, he's adapting the professional style. A fantastic career as an amateur, and now it's kind of, I think this is the year we start to see Kurt Walker trying to go for titles and pushing forward for titles. He doesn't want to wait around. He's already starting to talk about names like Isaac Lowe and that kind of level, and that's his target this year.
Well, best of luck to you on Saturday, Kurt Walker. We look forward to it.
Cheers, thanks.
Let's speak to Conor Quinn. Now, I've heard, Conor, that your nickname is The Magnificent. This is a magnificent show to be a part of. You must be buzzing.
Yeah, that's it, mate. No, this is the type of shows that any young fighter can only dream of getting on, and thanks to Mark Dunlap, my manager, and obviously Jamie and Mick for putting on the show. And from here, we can only kick on.
You've been doing a bit of sparring. I was looking at your Instagram, been doing a bit of sparring with Sonny Edwards as well. This is high caliber stuff.
Yeah.
How do you feel your development's going as a pro?
Brilliant, yeah. In with the best in the world, and Sonny Edwards, and you know, like, he is the best in the world, so you can't ask for better sparring. And all I can do is keep progressing and keep that sort of momentum going and see where it takes us.
I just want to ask you this one quickly. My understanding is at one point you were told you would never box again, and here you are as part of this show. Just give us a bit of an insight as to what happened there.
Yeah, so 2 years ago when I reapplied for my British boxing license, and I had some medical issues, and I was told maybe never box again and everything like that, you know. And here we are 2 years later, and now I'm sitting in the biggest show in Belfast. So I will not go too far into that because I just want to keep positive. But listen, it just shows not everything you're told is true, and anything you want you can fight for. And you know, these are the type of shows that show that.
Well done, young man. That's a nice story, Jamie.
Fantastic fighter. Grew up 2 streets away from me and Michael, and it's great to see him progressing like he is. He took himself off to Australia and tried to build his career, and he's really took a stand on his own 2 feet. And him and Mark Dunlap have massive plans, taking on a real tough Spanish man who fought Paddy Barnes even. So there's a good connection there, and a good stepping stone to titles.
Well, best of luck to you, Connor. That's a very nice story. Very nice story. Let's bring in the man they call Big Bang. I can see the belt there, the WBC International belt. Pierce O'Leary. I mean, you have been talking about wanting to box on home soil for a little while now. You've got your wish. You must be excited.
Yeah, everything's going good. I want to thank Top Rank Conlan Boxing, and most of all, my manager Francis, George, Frank Queensberry for this opportunity to get me on this card. It's a massive card for Irish boxing itself. It's great to be home. Also, it's not home, it's not Dublin, but I'm going to carry a lot of dubs up, and it's going to be loud.
I come to see you in the gym a few weeks ago, and we were talking about how it's not a bad time to be called Big Bang. We saw what Zile Zhang did. Are you looking to carry his momentum into Saturday night, Pierce?
Yeah, definitely. They call me the Big Bang, so I want to go out and I want to destroy people. I want to take people's souls. But I told you already, Dave, I don't bang everything.
Just to confirm, Pierce O'Leary does not bang everything, but presumably there will be some big bangs on Saturday night, Pierce, huh?
Absolutely, me fireworks.
Are you looking to make a bit of a statement in your division? It's a division that's getting a lot of love at the moment from boxing fans. So much going on at super lightweight.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, and it's very competitive. But I will just keep doing my thing, keep working hard, keep leading myself, keep getting them wins, and whoever comes along the way with what I want will be there'll be fireworks.
All right, thank you very much, Pierce O'Leary. We really look forward to it.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, everyone.
Let's bring in the man they call the Hammer, Poddy McCrory. Poddy, it was great to meet you yesterday for the first time. I understand you've done all your tickets. It's gone really well, the tickets for this show for you. Tell us about this and tell us how excited you are to be part of this one.
Yeah, so for my first fight, I've always sold big tickets, and I think it's been a massive help for me to get here now. I've probably done about 600 tickets for this show, so I'm expecting a massive night.
And I'm sure Jamie will tell us a little bit more about this as well, but I'm hearing no one wants to fight you.
I don't know. I've been trying to get big fights and they haven't been happening, but I have to keep winning. And then I'm going to leave that to Mick and Jamie to sort out a big fight for me.
How's it been going trying to get Poddy opponents, Jamie?
Well, at one stage he was very sought after. They seen him as kind of a softer touch, and we went to Germany, and that kind of all changed. Wasserman took a risk against Poddy, and it backfired, and now it's kind of he's a danger man, very, very dangerous, and something that we've seen for a past while. He's progressing ridiculously at this stage of his career and age that he's at, and he's like Fane Wayne, and kind of getting better every time. It's just constantly improving. A delight to work with, as you said about the tickets. He really is a cult figure in the West Belfast and Belfast boxing scene, and is really generating some buzz in the city, and can really generate the big fight here in Belfast coming up.
Well, Poddy, we had a little joke yesterday about what sort of performance we can expect from you on Saturday. Do you think you'll do enough to entice Canelo Alvarez to Windsor Park? Is that the plan?
That's the main agenda. We want Conlan in Belfast.
There you go.
Payday.
Good luck, Poddy, and good luck with the pursuit of Canelo Alvarez as well. Let's speak to the fighters involved in a wonderful WBC silver featherweight title bout. We've got Nick Ball defending his crown against Ledumo Lamati. There's two undefeated fighters here. Let's first speak to Ledumo. It's great to have you. You're very welcome. Tell us how you're feeling ahead of. I mean, this is the toughest fight of your career. Tell us what's on your mind.
Aaron, firstly, I want to thank Nick Ball's team for opportunity and Queensberry. If it's the toughest, I don't know. I will find out on the 27th. Looking forward to this, and I'm excited. Finally, I got a shot that will take me to, I think, to the world title. So I'm excited, and I'm looking forward to it. That's all.
What do you think of Nick Ball?
I think he's strong. He's a threat. Experience-wise, I don't know. We'll find out. He's been in a fight, or he's been beating guys. We'll find out on the 27th. There's fights, and there's someone that beat guys. I'm gonna give him a fight, and then we'll see how he's gonna handle a fight, or boxing, whatever you wanna call it.
What do you think your advantages are in this fight?
Sorry?
What do you think your advantages are? What do you do better than Nick Ball?
Number one, I'll say experience. I've been in fights. I've been pushed and pushed back. Reach advantage. Like I said, experience, abilities. He's strong. He just comes forward. He's a threat. That's all. If he's gonna bully me, I deserve that in the ring. If I let him do that, because I've been preparing up. He's, like I said, he's very strong. He's an exciting fighter, but I think I have enough to handle.
Well, he's unbeaten in 17 fights. 17 have tried, 17 have failed. What makes you think you are the man to defeat Nick Ball?
Because I have everything to do that. I have the tools, I have the experience, I have the time. He needs this fight also. Also, there's 22 guys tried and they failed. All over the world, they did try. I don't know about him, so we'll find out on the 27th. I'm looking forward. I'm excited too.
Well, let's bring in Nick Ball here. Nick, you've heard a few things there from Ledumo Lamati. He says he's got several advantages over you, experience being one of them as well. What are your thoughts heading into Saturday night?
Not much, Dev. Just trying to stay focused. All that sounds good, doesn't it? But you know, I've heard it all before. It's nothing new to me. Let's see what he's saying when he gets punched in the face on Saturday. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
When I asked you a couple of months ago as to how you thought the main event would go between Mick Conlan and Alberto Lopez, you simply said to me, I don't care. I just want to get on the undercard and then I want the winner. Why was it so important for you to get on this show?
It's a massive show, innit? And I'm here. We made it happen, and thanks to everyone involved who made it happen, get me on the show. I appreciate it, and it's a good show to be on because there's a world title fight at my weight, and it's a good chance for me to show what I'm about on the show.
And if you turn around, Nick, there is literally a world title behind you. It's in touching distance. Does that kind of make it feel real that you are, looking to really make a bit of a statement on Saturday?
Yeah, it's in touching distance, but I can't let that lose focus. I've got another man there who's unbeaten, who's coming to win, and if you think I'm going to underestimate him, then you clearly don't know me. So I've got my business to handle first, and then we'll think about that.
Ledumo, let's bring you in here. Any final message you want to give to Nick Ball ahead of Saturday?
No, I think you think I'm underestimating him. No, like I said, he's a threat. He's dangerous. He's exciting. So I'm looking forward to the challenge. There's no message. I just can't wait for the 27th night. That's all.
And Nick, final word from you on this one.
Not a word.
No words needed, but fist will fly on Saturday night. Nick Ball and Ludumo Lamati WBC silver featherweight title on the line. Now let's bring in the IBO super featherweight champion, the man they call the Apache, sat right in front of me. Anto, you have not stopped smiling all week. You are, it's a bit of a homecoming for you, right?
Yeah, it's 8 years in the making. Last time I fought here was 2015 for Frampton Avalos, so I'm just excited to fight in front of the home city and show what I can do.
What does it mean to be part of such a huge historic night in terms of, Mick Conlan could be crowned the world champion? It's a big night.
Listen, it feels amazing. I'm delighted to be on a show with stacked talent. Everyone sitting at this table and Mick fighting for a world title, so it means a lot, and it means a lot to be able to fight in front of my family and all my friends who don't have to fly and follow me around the UK. You can just come down the road and that's it,
The man you're fighting, Damian Rosensky, what do you know about him? There's not an awful lot out there about him, but there's good reports coming out of the gym in Southampton.
I don't know too much about him. I've watched a bit of tape on him. He hasn't fought much out of Poland. I think he's only been out of Poland twice, so I don't really care anything about Damien, to be honest. I just want to do what I know I can do, and if I do that, I should win pretty handy.
Well, I will ask you one thing, because I've heard a quote from Damien. He describes himself as the Terminator.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
No thoughts. We'll see about that on Saturday, won't we?
Yes, we will. Look, final one from you, Anto. Look, this is a glamour division at the moment, super featherweight. You come through, you defend your belt well. Are you looking at the likes of Joe Cordina? I mean, Cordina Cacace sounds like an Italian title fight, but
it sounds good.
It sounds good, right?
Yeah. I just want to get past Damien first to say I don't look too much ahead. I've got a challenge here on Saturday night, and once I get through that, I believe that I'd be in good shape to be fighting one of the top guys, and Navarrete, Cordina, but we'll talk about that in a later date.
Yes, we will. Well, good luck, Anto, and it's great to speak to you today. We're looking forward to seeing you back on Saturday.
Cheers, Dave. Thank you, man.
Let's talk about the main event. Let's bring in Adam Booth from Team Conlan. Adam, I think you've 5 years now, I believe it is, as Mick's coach. Why is this the right time for him to become world champion?
Mick's at the apex of his career in terms of his age, his experience, his evolution as a professional fighter, and his immense amateur record combined with his ferocious winning mindset. And you hear, it sounds a bit cliche, but to say it is the right time, he is at his peak. He absolutely is. He reminds me of a fighter I worked with before, Andy Lee, when he fought Matt Korobov in Vegas as a 5-1 underdog. And I'm getting that same sense from Mick. Technically, physically, energetically, mentally, all the things have evolved so well the last 5 years and spiked over the last 12 months and he needs to be that for this fight. And this is why we're in it, for the highest level competition and the highest levels of performance. And I'm genuinely excited to see how he performs on Saturday.
What were the learnings from the Leewood fight?
Well, it was the first time that Mick had a firefight like that as a professional, and you don't have firefights like that set over 11 and a half rounds in the amateur, so it was the first time he'd ever been in a firefight, and realizing what he can do and how ferocious he can be on the inside and how clever we know he is on the outside, there was a lot of takes from the worst moment, so many takes, and it's those elements that we've just focused on and honed in on and improved over the last 12, 15 months.
And this man here, Lopez, the champion, he's unorthodox, he jumps in. How do you prepare for someone like that?
Kind of just try and imagine what it's like to be him. He comes across as a quick, strong, tough, fearless street fighter who has learned some techniques. Unorthodox raids, very quick. And when I say fearless, I mean that it's just not a thought for him to be in a fight. So you know that there are clear and obvious threats from him. But, like every fighter, your strengths can sometimes be your weaknesses. And so we've just done the job, focused on the threats that he brings, and drilling and drilling and drilling how to deal with them.
Finally, Adam, is this a tougher fight than the Leewood fight in your head?
Absolutely. I knew that right from the start. But Mick Conlan is a much better fighter today than he was in Leewood.
All right, thank you, Adam. I see a lot of nods going around at that particular comment at the end. Let's bring in Kiki Managua from Magana from Luis Alberto Lopez team. This is back-to-back big fights away from home, but you must be confident that your man's going to come away with that belt.
First of all, good afternoon. Actually, yeah, I know that Luis, he's a champion. He's really prepared for this fight, and I'm very, very confident that on Saturday night we're going to be taking the W and the title back to Mexico.
What do you make of Mick Conlan as a challenger?
Well, Mick Conlan, first, he's a great guy. He's a tough opponent, former Olympian. You know, he's a very skillful fighter, but I think that Luis is really prepared for everything that he's going to bring to the table.
And Luis, again, is boxing away from home. He went to Leeds and beat Josh Warrington, which would have been hostile. Does none of this bother him?
No, not at all. Actually, we've been yesterday at the workout. We saw a lot of fans asking for pictures, signing autographs. It'll be actually the UK is like a second home for us. It's the third time that we come in. We already fought Isaac Lowe, we already fought Josh Warrington, and we are used to go to the backyard and do what he does best, that is fight.
And finally, I looked at your social media and you said your man here is going to make a statement on Saturday night. What is that statement?
Well, we're a team and we don't like to talk a lot. We like to work. But knowing the skills, the sparring that he has made, the great camp that he has made with all his 3 coaches and the 2 strength and conditioning guys, I think this one, it's no longer than 12 rounds.
All right, thank you, Kiki. Let's bring in the challenger. Yeah, the hometown hero. Let's have a little chat with Mick Conlan. I mean, Mick, you can tell this is different, right? This is different to boxing away in Nottingham. This is it. This is the realisation potentially of a lifelong dream. Tell us what's on your mind.
Yeah, thanks everybody for coming out today. I'm just excited, really excited about Saturday night, really looking forward to it. I want to thank Kiki and Luis Alberto for coming. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming to Belfast. You're very welcome here. But on Saturday night I will be champion.
You said to me yesterday, Mick, that in the last fight maybe you didn't quite keep a cool head. How are you going to keep a cool head on Saturday night when, as you can see already here, this is just the press conference, they love you. They are going to be screaming your name. That ring walk, everything's going to be epic. How are you going to keep the cool head in the hot room?
Yeah, listen, I've experienced an awful lot of atmospheres throughout my career now. Very mad, crazy atmospheres, and I know Saturday night will be no different to that, but I've experienced it, so I know how to handle it now, and I'm looking forward to Saturday night because I'll be able to show that, go in there, perform, and beat Lewis.
Well, Lewis actually did an interview with IFL TV yesterday, and he said he plans to come over here and end the fight quickly. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, listen, that's his plan. That's what he plans to do. But I know that he's changed trainers a few times throughout this training camp. There's probably little things going on with him. I don't think he truly believes that. He has to say that for the cameras, and that's okay. That's no problem. I respect him as a fighter. I respect his opinion. But on Saturday night, they will be champions.
Another thing that he said was, as soon as you start planting your feet in this fight, that's where it's going to get tricky for you, and that's where you could unravel. Hopefully the translations are accurate there, but what do you think about that? Is it going to be dangerous for you to start planting your feet in this fight?
be everything in that ring. So I have an awful lot of options. If he plans on me doing that, then I could change if I really wanted to. But we'll see when we're in there. I don't think me counting my feet will be big trouble. It could be big trouble for him also.
What sort of fight are you expecting from him? We saw against Josh Warrington, he started very fast, started hard and fast, landing big shots early. Are you expecting him to come and try and take you out of there quite quickly then?
Yeah, I'm just expecting the best. Alberto Lopez, sorry. Yeah, I think he's gonna bring everything. He's gonna be in his best condition, his best shape, and he's gonna come in and try and knock me out. So I'm prepared for everything he's gonna do. I have ticked every box I need to tick. I'm very confident into this fight. It's a pleasure to have it here in Belfast, but I know it doesn't mean too much because Lewis travels well. So yeah, it's all good. It'll be good for me, and I believe on Saturday night you'll hear on the night.
All right, well, let's bring in the champion here, Luis Alberto. Welcomed you as well. First, tell me this. Mick Conlan was not your mandatory. You didn't have to take this fight. Nobody was telling you to take this fight, but you have taken it, and you have taken it here in Belfast. Tell us why.
Sí, pues quiero demostrar que soy un verdadero campeón, que lo que he venido siendo desde largo de mi carrera, siempre como lado B, ganándole los prospectos, ahora que soy campeón del mundo, me quiero solidar como un verdadero campeón, quiero acabar con Michael Conlan y después ir por los campeones del mundo.
Always I've been side B on all of my fights. I already beaten up all the prospects, all the fighters that Top Rank has gave to me. So this Saturday night I want to prove everyone that I'm a real true champion, and after this fight, after beating Michael Conlan, I will go for the next world champs.
Tell us this. There was a hostile crowd in Leeds. The Belfast fans will, I'm sure, be against you as well. Do you relish that environment? Do you prefer it?
Claro, ya estoy acostumbrado, siempre como le digo, vengo diciendo, he peleado en Estados Unidos, en el Reino Unido ya he peleado 2 veces, ya estoy acostumbrado que no me quieran ver ganar, pero les arruino los planes, y pues que no se les olvide, todos quieren verme perder, pero que no se les olvide quién es el campeón del mundo.
I'm used to it. I'm used to of this type of environment. I've been traveling. This is my 3rd time here on the UK. I've beaten the other 2 guys, and I've flight on to the US, to Europe, and everybody wants to see me sometimes lose. But I love to ring plans, and don't forget that I'm the world champion.
Well, Mick Conlan, a little bit of and the new, a little bit of and still. Listen, tell me this, Luis Alberto. Mick Conlan has said that your biggest strengths in this fight may well be your biggest weaknesses. What do you think about that?
Pues lo que vengo diciendo de que siempre dicen lo mismo, siempre me dicen que me van a ganar, que me van a noquear, que voy a hacer el ridículo, que me van a mandar a jugar fútbol, me han dicho de todo, pero al final del día cuando estamos arriba los dos, nunca pasa nada de lo que dicen.
Every time they tell me that I'm gonna lose, that I'm gonna be knocked out, that I'm gonna be on a bad performance, but at the end of the day, when I jump in the ring, there's 2 of us, and I'm used to it, so I'm gonna be taking the victory.
Mick, yesterday I asked you why you win this fight. Really put you on the spot with it, but I mean your answer was pretty clear. You said you do everything better than him, and you want it more. Do you want to hammer home on that?
Yeah, listen, I definitely wanted more. After failing last year, it was a hard one to take, but when I got straight back on the horse, come back with 2 good victories, and I know that I'm 31 now. I'm not going to be in boxing for another 10 years. I want to make sure I become champion this time and capitalize on that after that. So I definitely feel like I wanted more. There's much more riding for me on this. My whole life is on this one, and I'm ready for everything. I don't need to do no talking. The talking is done. We're going to fight on Saturday night. As I said, I have respect for Lewis. He can say what he wants and say what he needs to say, but Saturday night I will give everything in there and I will be champion.
Well, there we have it. Luis Alberto Lopez, let's get a final kind of message from you. What would you like to say to Mick Conlan ahead of Saturday night?
No, para nada, que lo respeto, quiere ser campeón, todos estamos aquí para ser campeones, es nuestro sueño, pero yo he batallado bastante para ser campeón y créanme que no se lo voy a dejar.
I respect Michael Conlan. He's a great fighter, but every fighter wants to be a world champion. But for me, it has been a really, really tough road. So don't forget that I'm the champion, and I'll be coming back with the championship to Mexico.
Well, there you have it. A tremendous main event on Saturday. Let's get final words from the promoters. First, Jamie, sign us off. Why should people be tuning in on Saturday night? What a tremendous night.
I think we're going to witness something special in the city, in the SSE Arena. I think in the ring itself, one of the most technically gifted fighters Ireland's ever produced against one of the most fearless Mexican fighters that has ever come to these shores, and we're in for a treat, a big treat on Saturday night, and a masterclass from Michael Conlan.
And finally, let's hear from Hall of Fame boxing promoter Bob Arum. As I mentioned, you know it's a big show when Bob's in town. Bob, I think the eyes of the world will be on this show anyway, but tell us why we should be excited about this one.
In boxing, when we do an event, first thing we look at is whether the fight will be competitive. And this fight for the championship will be a very, very competitive fight. There's arguments on both sides as who will win the fight. Some say the champion, some say the challenger, and it will be decided by the two athletes in the ring. And that's the essence of the sport of boxing. There's no blaming your teammates for not really being in the right place at the right time. Boxing is one-on-one, and it all is on the shoulders of each of the individual competitors. And when you get two evenly matched athletes in boxing, there is nothing, no sport in the world that can compare. So I believe that everybody here watching the fight in person, everybody watching the fight in the UK on BT television, and in the US and Canada on ESPN Plus, and also television around the world are in for a big treat on Saturday night.
Thank you very much, Bob Arum. Thank you, everyone, for joining us here today. Just a reminder, the ring walks for the main event will be at 9 o'clock. We're going at a slightly earlier time. Do not miss this. We're live on BT Sport in the UK and Ireland from 6:30. We're going to do some face-offs down the front here, and we will see you also for the weigh-in live tomorrow. Thank you so much, Belfast.